All right, so I'm reviewing the next part of my kit, which is the meat hammers by Andrey Galevskiy from Ukraine. I'll put his stuff right there. But I've been very excited for these, and you can probably guess why. I'd be very excited to own these, mainly because they look scary. If you see someone walking around with these, you I don't want to get punched by them. So yeah, they have this kind of brass knuckles type look to them. They've got the spikes on the knuckles for concentrating the force on impact. Does that mean they'll hit harder than regular gauntlets? Hard to say. Technically, maybe in theory, but the force is probably negligible, and it just depends on who's punching. But still, the main factor for this is just the fear that something like this would instill in an opponent. So it is fully enclosed, mitten style. You do not have free fingers, but the metal comes all the way down and overlaps so that you cannot have any of your fingers hit by any stray blows. The thumb is also really well encased, and when you are holding something, there is no way anyone is going to bash your thumb, which is really important to me, because really one of the only hits I have ever actually felt in Boo Hurt is someone with a two-handed axe just nailing my thumb. My thumb was purple for weeks, so this is really good. I've already demonstrated some of their durability, and I'll show that video in just a second here. Okay, and then, so since these are hourglass style gauntlets, you can get a lot of maneuverability with them, which is very important, especially if you're more of a duelist. Having that wrist mobility is very important so that you can feint, get around strikes, things like that. And that's about it in terms of features I want to show off, and now I can do the fun stuff and start punching things. Seems to work to me. So here's where that punch hit. It is dented in and pretty marked up. So let me see if I can get the light, but yeah, right where the spike hit, it dented in the visor, and knocked the helmet off. So yeah, it's good. Some more assessment of the damage. There is now a big old dent in the chest plate, and also the force broke the strap on the shoulder, so it it snapped. No. Oopsies. The gauntlet itself seems totally fine. I can't even really tell where these things hit. But there is no dents other than some, like, maybe some scuff marks from me punching things in the past. But yeah, there is no discernible damage. My knuckle was completely protected too. I didn't even really feel the punch when it landed, so I have no idea where I even hit it. I'm assuming one of the spikes, but I can't really tell because knuckles are well made and they can take that kind of force, and my prop armor could not. If you're at all interested in this sport, especially reading about it in a fantasy-esque setting, my book, March of the Blood Red King, is now available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, online stores around the world. It does capture a lot of the combat of like Boo Hurt and Armored MMA, and tries to do so in a very grounded setting. It makes the combat feel much more authentic. There's less people just getting away with things. Everything has to be done in a way that makes sense, that's practical, that's based on real historical combat. Even some of the fantasy elements are kind of a burden to the people who have to use them. So March of the Blood Red King out now if you are interested in reading fantasy literature that captures a lot of this kind of stuff. So have a good rest of your day.